Well, the Walt Disney Company is back at it again. This time they're remaking Snow White. And just as they were completely incompetent at making The Little Mermaid, that has not gotten any better. In fact, they have become even more of a parody of themselves, folks. It is now Snow White and the Seven Dirty Hippies. Let's talk about it. Let's have a good laugh right now.
Meme! They put dirty hippies in Snow White!
All right, folks, welcome back to another video of excellence here on the WDW Pro channel. What a joy it is that you have elected to join us. And joining us as well is Jonas J. Campbell, investigative reporter for ThatParkPlace.com. Jonas, are you ready for some real fun today?
Well, first of all, hi-ho to all of you watching here today. And yes, I'm ready to be off to work.
Well, Jonas, which dwarf do you wish... Oh, I'm sorry. I am so sorry, Jonas. Which special magical companion do you wish to be? You can choose from Stinky, Drinky, Blinky, Smelly, Belly, Jelly. I don't know. What do you want to be? Drunky?
I think those might be the
funky?
I think those are the seven Duffs. And, well, it would be worth pointing out that those are also owned by the Walt Disney Company, just not the theme park rights.
Oh, this is so bad, folks. Let's get into it. This out of the dailymail.com. Folks, as we do, if you like content like this, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe. And when you click it, you stick it to the algorithms, just like Jonas is clearly going to chug away behind the scenes there as we hear him openly
and where's your Homer Simpson? That was my can going, psst,
that's right.
I love you.
Well, he's got to get a little bit of the bubbly as we get into this topic. Snow White and the Seven Politically Correct Companions. First pictures of new live-action remake of Disney classic show stand-in princess walking with diverse band of merry men and women's after Roe overusing dwarf actors. And one of my favorite things about this article, Jonas, and these pictures, and we will show them, is that Disney apparently was so embarrassed, and they should be, that they tried to claim that none of this is real, folks. It's all smoke and mirrors. This is some other production taking place in the UK where they have 7 people in ridiculous outfits following a lady who looks like she's dressed like Snow White. And so even before we get into this article out of the Daily Mail, let me show you this because the media is already trying to defend it. And I love this. No, this is too much. Look at Savannah Walsh over here. Look at Savannah Walsh. She's exactly the kind of person to come in and defend this. Those politically correct Snow White set photos are fake. They're fake, Jonas, says Disney. This out of Vanity Fair.
Do you think she's related to Matt Walsh?
Oh, I got a feeling not. She doesn't claim him. Once upon a time, a Disney live-action remake sparked backlash. Blah, 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 blah. It goes on to talk about how it's fake. It's fake, Jonas. Get it out of here. It's fake. Guess what's fake? It's not at all fake. It's the real production set photos. They really got video of it. The only thing is that Rachel Ziegler, the person playing Snow White, her double is in there, and one of the other special magical non-dwarfs has a stand-in. Everything else is exactly as it should be. So, no, it's not fake. It's fake! Hi-ho, hi-ho. It's off to the job center they go, for the 7 dwarves have been replaced by magical creatures for Disney's live-action remake of Snow White. The character of the fictional princess, who will be played by Rachel Ziegler in the film, has been pictured for the first time with her new companions, who appear to be of mixed genders, ethnicities, and heights. The actress, wearing Snow White's famous yellow and blue dress and a red cape, is trailed by the group, who are dressed in brightly colored clothes and carrying work tools. They were spotted shooting scenes in Bedfordshire on Thursday in pictures obtained exclusively by Mail Online. By the way, that's the same place that they filmed The Acolyte. How cool is that?
Interesting.
The scenes pictured here featured 2 stand-in extras who were used to film additional photography. It's fake! Disney announced that magical creatures would replace the 7 dwarves to avoid reinforcing stereotypes after Game of Thrones actor Peter Dinklage criticized the blankety-blank backwards story last year. By the way, we're going to tell you why Snow White is structured the way it is. It's going to blow some minds if you've never thought about it. Jonas, these are our new dwarven creatures here, although they only one appears to be of a smaller stature. These appear to me to be some sort of, I don't know, drunken, dirty hippies. Maybe the village people have descended upon Snow White and her quaint German town. Doesn't look too German anymore, does it?
No, they do not. My goodness, what a motley crew of 70s era people that they've got going here. 1970s.
Notice that character in the back appears to be ready to mail all kinds of things that you would not want to receive in the mail back there. Don't you think? The little character in the red.
Yeah. The university and airport kind of mail packages there.
Yeah. I think this is the kind of person who hides out in Montana or Idaho and is sought after by the security state.
Yeah.
Who knows?
The kind of person whose cabin might still be in FBI storage.
I mean, this is horrible. I mean, you could not make a parody better than this. This looks like garbage. And guess what, Jonas? It's made by the same woman who's making Barbie.
No.
Yes.
Oh,
same
that's
lady.
right. That's right. She co-wrote.
That's
She
exactly
co-wrote the
right.
script for this.
Greta is in charge of this, and if you don't think this is a bad omen for Barbie, this is. I mean, it doesn't get worse than this. Let's read some more. I was a little taken aback when they were very proud to cast a Latina actress as Snow White, but you're still telling the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, he told Mark Maron's WTF podcast, talking about Peter Dinklage. It makes no sense to me. You're progressive in one way, and you're still making that blankety-blank backward story about seven dwarfs living in a cave together? And what the blank are you doing, man? You know, I don't think that Pete has put a lot of thought into this, so let me explain it for everybody out there what the story of Snow White is all about. The original story of Snow White is about this. By the way, it's a German mythos, and therefore, I'm not sure how all of these characters belong in 1800s, 1700s Germany, but have at it, Disney. You're not done yet, apparently. It's going to get the Ariel sisters treatment. But the original story for Snow White is this. You have a girl who becomes a woman, right? She enters into puberty in the story, and she is not keen on being the focus of attention. She becomes beautiful, and in the story, because she's a person of wealth at the time, she is fair-skinned. That indicates that she doesn't have to work outside, and that is the signal of nobility and very, very high class. However, the queen does not like that Snow White has become a woman, right, of that time period. She has entered into puberty because she is a threat to the queen, because the queen was the fairest of the land, right? She was the highest of nobility, and now the queen feels that Snow White might be of a greater interest than she. And so the queen seeks out to destroy someone who might be more beautiful than she as she is aging. And so you have the duality of the story in which Snow White does not want to reach puberty yet. She does not want to be the attention, the focus of attention of men or of women who are jealous. And the queen, likewise, does not want to exit the stage of her beauty. She does not want to become older and less attractive. And then on top of that, Snow White goes out and she finds 7 men of very small stature who are all bachelors living on their own. Now, why does Snow White do that in the story, folks? She does it because she is seeking out men who are not a threat to her. Okay, make of that what you will, but we're not trying to be negative about anybody who has dwarfism. We're not trying to make any kind of statement as to attractiveness or anything like that. She's literally seeking out men who are manly, who are going about their lives doing manly things, right? They're traditionally portrayed as being miners, right? Miners, as in they go out and they mine the soil and they find the precious gems and jewels, etc. But she's trying to find something that is masculine, but which is not a threat to her because she's just entered into puberty and she has become the attention of men who could be threats to her. That is the story. And then the prince is the proper iconization of masculinity, who comes in and does the right thing to save Snow White from the evil queen. And that is the pushback of proper masculinity against the spirit of envy within toxic femininity. And that, folks, is the story of Snow White. When you have people who have no idea what they're doing with this story and the archetypal fiction that's being played out, the mythological strengths of this fable, this is how you get people dressed like the village people who look like they need a bath. Jonas, thoughts on that?
No. The village people put a lot of money and a lot of time into appropriate theming for their costumes.
What is this guy doing with all this rope? I mean, what does he need all the rope for on his pants? And why is the girl on the left side, why does she dress like Raggedy Ann? I don't understand what this is.
For the life of me, first of all, I have never looked at Snow White in the way that you described here. That's actually a fascinating take on that story, and it rings true. The Disney version, they already emasculated the man in the Disney version. They barely even took the time to draw a face on the original
Exactly.
Disney guy. So I can't even imagine what they're going to do to him in the modern version. Actually, I think there's some pictures of him in here. They've got him in what looks like a modern hoodie.
Well, he has to look better than this second guy, Jonas, because the second guy from the right, he looks like he stole John Travolta's wardrobe from the 70s and then quilted something together out of all different types of clothing. So
maybe that's it. Maybe they're just looking for cost savings wherever they can find them.
I really like the third guy, because he has that cane, but it's not long enough to be a cane. But he's wearing sort of like this blazer outfit. So he's maybe business dwarf, right? He's really going out there. And then you've got the stand-in for Rachel Zegler, but because it's not Rachel Zegler, because she has a double, just like on every single movie production you've ever seen, it's fake! It's fake! It's not real! Disney says. Oh, wait, is this video? Jonas, is this video of it?
Yes, there is. Absolutely.
That appears to be less fake than I was anticipating.
And there he is, Prince Hoodie.
Prince Hoodie, looking sharp, looking dapper as ever. No, actually, he does not look dapper as ever. He looks like he just looks like a disillusioned Justin Bieber fan. So,
are the
terrible
dwarves tied together in one of those shots? Man, that's
Jonas. We're not supposed to talk about that. It's like Bruno. You don't talk about it. Co-written by Barbie's Greta Gerwig, the upcoming adaptation will not feature a Prince Charming. He's not Prince Charming. Don't you dare call him that. And will instead focus on a stronger Snow White who is less snowy and less white, who dreams of becoming a leader. You know what? She should get with Tiana and become a business leader. That would be something now. She could start her own Tabasco plant. Maybe. No, oh, wait, think about this. It could be Texas Pete. She could be Snow White's Texas Pete business, and she could take on Tiana, who's now running Splash Mountain, which has become a Tabasco mining operation. Jonas, there's potential here.
Absolutely. And they could put it in the mountains of Texas. Wink, wink.
Oh, this is brilliant. Ziegler previously addressed reports that the film was trying to be politically correct, claiming that the story needed refreshing. She said, people are making these jokes about ours being the PC Snow White. Yeah, it is, because it needed that. Our version is a refreshing story about a young woman who has a function beyond someday my prince will come. Take that, Walt Disney. Take that, Walt. How dare you in your historical film stand in the face of 22-year-old Rachel Zegler and her infinite wisdom and her merry band of dirty hippie dwarves who are not dwarves. And by the way, Jonas, can you imagine if you were a person of small stature, someone who has dwarfism, let's say, and you have been waiting for this movie to come out because you want to be in it. This is your chance. You are going to be the star of the show. And they're like, get back in the Ewok costume, you. You can't show your face around here. They're not allowed. They're not allowed to actually play themselves, play a dwarf, because that's unallowed. Instead, they have to hide and be in costumes on Willow or on Ewoks because they can't be on camera. How frustrating must this be to actual people with dwarfism?
I mean, you think about it, the number of actors who have made a name for themselves in that space, you got like Warwick Davis, you got Billy Barty, and you've got Peter Dinklage doing some, I guess, more serious work, if you want to view it that way. To have Peter Dinklage climb up that step stool and then take it out from behind him so that no one else can do it too. This is how Peter Dinklage made his bones. He's great in
He's
Elf.
An angry elf. He's an angry elf. He's a South Pole elf, no doubt. He does that, okay? Think about it, Jonas. Think about the hypocrisy here. He's on Elf with Will Ferrell. He does that role where it's all about the joke about him being short, right? That he's an elf. That Will Ferrell's character, Buddy, believes him to be an elf. And that's the joke. And that's, and now Peter Dinklage has the gall to come out and for a real role where there's mythological dwarfs, right? Who are there for a symbolic reason that is appropriate. And for him to come out and pull that ability away from people such as he to be able to star in a movie. What a pile of hubris he must have.
You think about the fact that when you I had nothing to add to that other than the fact that once you get into genre work, especially Disney
pause and say it. Hold on. Go.
When you think about it, when you get into genre work, especially Disney genre work, you could be set for life for Comic-Con appearances and fan meetings, or to even go on social media and make a name for yourself there. I don't think this film. First of all, let's point out that this film is probably not going to do that well. It's yet another one in the history of recent Disney releases that is not going to do that.
This is a turd burger. This is a turd burger supreme. This is going to lose money like you can't even imagine.
But the level of exposure that that smaller actors have from doing a role like this could lead to more jobs for more people. And no, he's fine. He's got his Game of Thrones money. He's got Cyrano. He's got whatever he can work out. He's got a great agent, apparently. Oh, no, that's it. Peter Dinklage gets to eat.
Can you imagine Jonas coming out from these other outlets and being like, this is fake? Like, who in their right mind is coming up with these horrific costumes on a brand new production set, right? That features outdoor areas to do this. Who possibly would be doing such a horrid thing except Disney? Look at this. These poor hobos.
Are we sure they
lonely hobos
in Portland? Maybe
this could be. Oh, you're right. This is Snow White and the 7 Antifa members. This is some kind of special. These outfits. If I were an actor and they brought this to my dressing room, I'd just say, guys, I'm out. Like, I'm firing my agent. I don't know what's going on here, but this is just awful.
Those are so.
It goes on and on. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Look, it's fake. Look at all the production people behind them.
Yeah.
How in the world can you come out and say this is fake? Disney must be absolutely embarrassed. This has got to be humiliating. Their entire company is on fire. The Little Mermaid lost them $200 million. India's losing more. And now this comes out, and it just looks like the worst garbage you have ever seen. Like, you couldn't invent parody. And by the way, here's the end of this. This is what's so great. So, Daily Mail, I congratulate you on saying this. They added, this article has been amended since initial publication to correctly identify the actress portraying Snow White as an extra who stood in for post-production photography. Disney confirmed that the stand-ins were used for both Rachel Ziegler and Andrew Burnap in these images. We are happy to clarify this point. Oh! Sticking it to the mouse.
Poor Rachel Ziegler. I mean, I as I understand it, she's a pretty talented actress. I haven't seen her in anything yet, but the fact that these photos got out there.
She bombed with Into the Heights. Now she's bombing with Snow White.
Well, and she was in Spielberg's West Side Story, I think, as well. And now everyone has to compare her looks to Gal Gadot's looks. So she's not really set up for success there. She's not a bad looking woman, but when you try to say, okay, here's Gal Gadot, here's Rachel Ziegler, think your thoughts. Which one do you like more? That's I don't know if I want to be set up for that.
Jonas, let's wind this up on this point right here. So you take the story of Snow White, where the key point in the story is that you have to have a quote unquote white person play Snow White, because that's literally physically the way this works, is that her nobility is tied into how light her skin is, because she's not tanned, because she doesn't work, because she's nobility. Okay. So from a physiological standpoint, the story, it makes no sense unless you have someone whose skin functions in such a way. So you can't have someone who has bronze or olive colored skin. It just doesn't work. There's nothing against their skin color. Personally, I'm all about having a tan, but it doesn't work for this story. It doesn't work for this time period. That doesn't match up with the German cultural norms of the day. However, you can cast someone of any color apparently to play Snow White, but I'll guarantee you cannot cast anyone to play Black Panther. You cannot cast anyone to play Storm of the X-Men. You cannot cast anyone to play a number of characters who are written in such a way as to have darker skin. So Jonas, has the hypocrisy finally hit such a point that we just literally sit and laugh at it now?
Well, I personally am looking forward to Lupita Nyong'o's upcoming Mulan reboot. But yeah, I think Disney is probably this will be another note in that wonderful playbook that they've been doing lately of casting a role that they know should be played by a white person because it is part of the history of the character, and then going out and then calling their fans mean names because they say, hey, it's part of the story that they were like this, or they've always been like this, and then trying to spew the worst possible insults they can. at the fans in order to market the movie, which we can see the history of that at the box office. It's pretty low. Forgive me for being vague, but they want to call people racists.
Well, Jonas, I want Disney to be brave, strong and brave, and proud and strong and brave. Proud, definitely, though, more than any other.
But not redheaded.
No, not ginger. Not ginger. That's too far. But Jonas, why can they not do like a movie that's set in a time period early in Chinese history, but have it played entirely by Jamaicans? Do you see a place that they could go with this? Maybe even they could do a piece about, I don't know, maybe they could redo Roots, right? But instead of having it be accurate to the type of people who should be portrayed in the movie Roots or the story Roots, they could go get Inuits, right? They could get just Nordic people even, only to play it. Jonas, the possibilities are wild. What Disney could do just in race swapping everything from here on out.
The Three Caballeros, starring the cast of Moana.
I love it. It's perfect. We'll do it. All right, Jonas, we have come to a wrap on this. There's nowhere else we can go except mocking it, and we've done plenty of that, although this is just the beginning of our journey in mocking what is truly a disaster. This is the dumpster fire of all dumpster fires. This is the parody that Disney, I can't even imagine how you could come up with something this bad. And we're not going to pretend, by the way, we're not going to pretend that it's going to turn out well or that they'll turn it around, because they never do. And just like when James Mangold came out and said, "Let me make my movie. Come on, guys, let me make my movie. I'm going to make fun of you." Guess what? The movie sucked, and this will too. All right, folks, if you like content like this that doesn't suck, click that like button, share, subscribe, and when you click it, you stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. We want to know, what are we going to call these 7 not dwarfs? We need your help. You are the only one who can rescue us. Please give us your best names for the 7 dwarves. Not dwarves. Sorry about that. And we will take to that in future videos. Keep it clean, though, unlike these dirty hippies we've just been looking at. Jonas, where can we find you on this great, big, beautiful web?
Well, you can find me on That Park Place, where I like to investigatively report things. Or you can find me on The Pro Show, Thursdays 5 to 7 on this channel. And also, I have my own channel where I like to go through all the woke things that Disney puts into their content, especially kids' content, over at the Jonas J. Campbell YouTube page.
Jonas, you should fall on your knees and be thankful for this movie. It will give you a decade of content.
Oh, my.
A decade.
They just won't stop. Guys, I have a backlog. If you can slow it down a little bit more, I would appreciate it.
This is like watching T-ballers who are losing about 30-0. It's time to invoke the mercy rule, Disney. Just please exit the field. We're done with this. This is too much. You've gone too far. This is roadkill on the interstate in the middle of travel season. Just let it end. We can't handle the gore. Well, folks, if you like content like it, you know what to do. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing. And unlike everybody who will be involved with this movie from now until the time it comes out and beyond, keep having fun.
Make sure to catch The Pro Show, Thursdays 5 to 7 Eastern Time. Entertainment Explained, The Culture Curve Conquered, live with Pro and all his friends.